Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Allahumma shalli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama shallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. Allahumma bika asbahna wa bika amsayna wa bika nahya wa bika namut wa ilaika nusyur. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. لا يضر مع اسمه شيء في الأرض ولا في السماء وهو السميع العليم. رضيت بالله ربا وبالإسلام دينا وبمحمد نبيا. اللهم زدني علما نافعا ورزقا طيبا وعملا متقبلا. يا مقلب القلوب ثبت قلوبنا على دينك وعلى طاعتك. اللهم أدخلنا جنتك واجرنا من النار. يا اللهم اختم لنا بالحسن الخاتمة ولا تختم علينا بالسوء الخاتمة. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. صلى الله على محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين والحمد لله رب العالمين. آمين يا رب العالمين. All praise to Allah Rabbul Alamin for His blessing, His guidance, His mercy, His forgiveness. Allah Ghafur Rahim, all forgiving. Allah Tawwab Rahim, who accept repentance, whoever repent to Him. And Allah Rabbul Alamin remind us, La tahnatu rahmatillah. Never give up hope with Allah Rabbul Alamin. To all the brothers and sisters, we also never forget to pray for those who are not well. The mother of Dr. Surya is possible, Amin. And in the same time, Tuhur, inshallah, every sickness that we encounter in our daily life, the Prophet ﷺ said, if we rida, means if we are accepting the qadar, then is a purification. Yeah, it's a process of Allah forgiving our minor sins. The major sins need repentance from the sinners. Brothers and sisters, we know that all of us who are healthy today always ask Allah to keep us healthy. All of us who are happy today, we also ask Allah to make us happy all the way, inshallah. But the reality of life is so that innamal usri yusra. Negative, positive, goodness, trial, happiness, sadness. One day you cry, one day you smile. Yeah? One day you're healthy, one day you're not. But the important thing, make sure that our iman do not be weakened just because of the changes. Everything that happened to us, there is a wisdom behind it. We just have to have extra patience to understand, and then inshallah Allah Rabbul Alamin will enlighten us that whatever happened to you, if you have patience and you rida, at the end of the day there's a lot of blessing, inshallah. Yeah? We always pray for that. And before I continue with the class, there was a briefing just I think to inform us about the coming Wednesday event. And normally anything that we intend to support with the homophobe in the form of maybe there are certain things that they need urgently, equipment and anything, we can try collectively to do what is best, for the homophobe. The general donation for homophobe is always, because all the account for homophobe is through the HQ. Homophobe don't have their own account. We do not allow any of the other activities that we organize to have their own account, but account will be controlled by the HQ. Just you inform them this is for homophobe activities, then they know where to put. We have few account for homophobe, especially for the homophobe. Unless if anybody want to give certain token to the students as a gift, they said the Chinese say ang pao, and the Muslims say the chai pao, and the green packet, and then normally those who want to give it to them also is part of our discipline after they receive from all of you, and then the caretaker or the people in charge of the children will collect it from them. Why we collect it? Because we don't give them keep, because to minimize problem. And sometimes when they keep and then somebody will take it, without their permission, so then there will be a lot of argument, fighting amongst children. There once upon a time the children are a bit out of control because of the family background, because the children that we took in are not easy children. They are very hardcore children. Our home also is known as a safe house to save them from outsiders who is trying to cause harm to them, and also from them trying to cause harm to themselves. So that is part of our policy of the home, that we make sure that they don't hold anything that can create more problem to themselves. Example, when we say to the parent, we are not going to allow you to give any handphone to your children. If you found it, we will have to keep it. If they need to call you, we have time for them to call their parents. Or their parents have time to come and see them. But in the same time, children who go to school sometimes, on and off, they will bring some phone back or so from the school, So then when we realize this thing happen, just not to all, to some of the children who have this bad habits, so we try our best to control them, and also to make sure that they will go back to the school and pass it back. When we bring them for shopping, supermarket and so on, sometimes they do their own shopping. So we also, when we know, we will call the manager, inform them we have some issue. We will educate the children that they must go and give it back to them. We can just ignore if we want, but that's not our practice, because we want them to know it's so wrong and they have to give it back. And sometimes they'll get some other gift in return because of their honesty, because we train them to give it back. On and off, we do it, engage people with uniform, the police, to come in just to talk to the children, because when we without uniform, their feeling is different. People of uniform, they may take it more seriously. Just to tell them how bad taking things that don't belong to you is wrong, Islamically and also socially. It is wrong. There are things that we always do to make sure that our children behave. But there's a lot of changes, alhamdulillah. But once in a while, the bad habit may occur a bit again, that we have to monitor. So that's why there are a lot of things that people want to do. We make sure that they understand why we do that, to help us to help the children. So inshallah, with the will of Allah, if everything moves well, the next Wednesday class will be held over there, so that a lot of our sisters will be given some opportunity to know what we are doing there, and also to get to know the children. Inshallah. This will be organized by the two sisters here, Aisha and Rohani is a key person, inshallah. So may Allah make it easy for all of us. Now let us go back to the topic that we are going to discuss about funeral. Today we should be on page 130, carrying the janazah. Now, before we talk about carrying the janazah, there's something that I'd like to share with all the good brothers and sisters. One of the things that the Prophet ﷺ do encourage, all of us who are still alive, especially the family members, to be hastened on the burial. It's a sunnah, because the Prophet ﷺ said, "Asri'u bil janazati." Asri'u bil janazati. In Sahih Muslim and also Sahih Bukhari or Sahih Abu Dawud, Sahih Ibn Majah, is mentioned that the Prophet ﷺ said, hasten the funeral rites, especially the burial. Want everything clear? We should try our best to send it to the burial ground. You only can delay if there's a reason. Without any reason, we just have to be hastened on that. In the same time, location of burial. This is an area, is a very sensitive area. The dead should be buried in the same area where they die, if possible. Transporting the body to another area or another country is not encouraged at all. Why? Because the Prophet ﷺ said so. In one of the hadiths of the Prophet ﷺ, in Sahih Muslim also, you can see, Jabir ibn Abdullah قال كنا حملنا قتلى يوم أحد لندفنهم فجاء منادي النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم فقال إن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يأمركم أن تدفنوا القتلى في مضاجعهم فرددناهم. Jabir bin Abdullah is not in that book. It's another reference. I just want to add so that we don't miss something that is important. Jabir ibn Abdullah said, on the day of the battle of Uhud, the dead were being carried back to Medina. Uhud is outside of Medina. Medina is a very small city. When it expands, so then the Uhud now also is part of Medina. The dead were carried back to Medina for burial in Baqi'. Baqi' is just next to the mosque of the Prophet ﷺ. When the Prophet ﷺ announced, that means there's some Sahaba, remind them, Allah's messengers order you to bury the dead where they die. So they were killed in Uhud. The Prophet said, bury them where they die. This announcement came after my mother, Jabir bin Abdullah said, his mother had already tied my father and uncle to the side of a camel in order to bury them in Baqi'. That means the mother had prepared everything and going to bring the father and the other to Baqi'. However, after hearing the announcement that the Prophet ﷺ said so, she returned them to where they were killed for burial. The companion and also the woman in the time of the Prophet ﷺ, that's why Allah said, وَمَا كَانَ لِمُؤْمِنٍ وَلَا مُؤْمِنَةٍ إِذَا قَضَى اللَّهُ وَرَسُولُهُ أَمْرًا أَنْ يَكُونَ لَهُمُ الْخِيَارَةُ مِنْ أَمْرِهِمْ. In Surah Al-Ahzab, Allah said, it is not right for a male or female believer, when Allah and the Prophet have decided something for you, you still entertain hearsay, this is what I want, this is what the people want me to do. No. A true believer, when it's from Allah or the Prophet, they will try their level best to respond, sami'na wa ata'na. Even they are prepared now. Seeing the Prophet said no, they just send it back. To us today is different. You know, we don't think about what the Prophet said. So we first think what we want to do, not what the Prophet wants us to do. So it is highly recommended for all of us to do that. That we should try our best not to go against the Sunnah of our Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Imam An-Nawawi, one of the great scholars who always refer to Imam Shafi'i's fiqh, in his book Al-Azkar said, if the dying person requests or write in his will that his body be transported to another country, sometimes we have these people who have put a written will, amanah, to those who are still living. If I die here, then it's written there that I want you to arrange to transport, to send me back to my country, to my state, example. According to Imam Nawawi, based on his book, since transporting the dead to another area is been reminded by Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, no, so to him he said it is not allowed to fulfill that written will. That's why even you want to make wasiat, the wasiat do not contradict the hukum. If the wasiat contradict, then the hukum take precedent, become more important to those who believe. Of course, this kind of thing, brothers and sisters, we know that it's not easy for us to do. Everybody have their own values and so on. They miss their family members. They want it to be buried next to their family sometimes. But when you die there, if there is an Islamic or Muslim graveyard and there are Muslims who are going to perform the funeral prayer, make it easy for everybody. How about visiting them? If you have the opportunity, you can visit any Muslim graveyard. But you can pray for your loved one wherever you are. Not necessary to pray for them at the graveyard. Wherever you are, you can do that. Islam is here to teach us how to make Islam easy for ourselves and not to waste. You remember the shroud? Earlier we were talking about the kain kafan. You don't even have to spend expensive one. You don't, because it's extravagant and the date is going down. Love them, you follow the way the Prophet wants us to do. Not necessary to waste unnecessary. Some not yet Muslim people also come to the extent they don't want the dead to be buried. They just burn them. Why? They say, don't waste the land. They say the land is for the living. The living use the land more. You can see even in Singapore, a small island, they, whether you are Chinese graveyard, Chinese take a lot of space normally, they want nirvana here and there, So, but anyhow, even that they say it's not practical. They will tell their people, you have to move, you move. Because the living need more space than the dead. The dead are in another world. They don't need this space anymore. Their space has been prepared by Allah Rabbul Alameen. They don't need this kind of space. But again, very sentimental. Now, the last thing I want to share with you before we move to the topic that we should continue with is about permissible action by those who attend, who are visiting the dead, who is still at home, who is still at home. That is uncovering the face and kissing it. This is one of the sunnah that a lot of us are not used to it. Meaning those present at the individual death or those who come to see the dead person for the last time are allowed to uncover the face and kiss it. Kissing the face of the dead is considered a part of the sunnah because the Prophet ﷺ used to do this to his companions. Aisha radiallahu anha, in Sahih Abu Dawud and Ibn Majah, the Prophet ﷺ does this when Aisha said, Ra'aytu, I saw Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the messengers of Aqis, Osman ibn Mathun. Osman ibn Mathun. After he died, and I saw his tears flow. That means just a normal flow. Sometimes you feel sad, all your companions pass away. And Aisha said again, زوج النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم, the wife of the Prophet, أقبل أبو بكر على فراشته من مسكنته بالنصح حتى نزل فدخل المسجد فلم يكلم الناس حتى دخل على عائشة رضي الله عنها فتيمم النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم وهو مسجى ببرد جبر فكشف عن وجهه ثم عقب عليه فقبله ثم بكى. Aisha radiallahu anha said, my father Abu Bakr came riding on his horse from his home in Sunnah, another area. He dismounted and entered the masjid without saying anything to the people. He just walked in and entered Aisha's house, because Aisha is his daughter. He went to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who was covered in his striped Yamani cloak, and covered his face, bent over and kissed him between his eyes, and also he cried. Okay. He shed tears. Normal tears is allowed. Even the Prophet, when his son Abraham passed away, he do shed tears, but he don't allow people to cry without having any. You must know how to control. Not to wail, not to beat your body and shout and scream. The normal crying is allowed. Now the Prophet also said, and Abdullah ibn Ja'far, أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم أمحل على جعفر ثلاثا أن يأتيهم ثم أتاهم فقال لا تبقوا على أخي بعد اليوم. Meaning Abdullah bin Ja'far narrated that Prophet delayed coming to visit Ja'far family for 3 days after his death. After Ja'far's death. Who is Ja'far? Ja'far is his cousin too. Then he came to them and said, do not cry for my brother, my cousin, but after today. After when? After 3 days. There is a sunnah if you want to feel very, very sad, mourning for 3 days. Those who are not the wife. Only the wife should mourn more than 4 months, 10 days. They are iddah. But other than that, even they are close to you, after 3 days, everybody must move on. I know sometimes different people have different feeling, but what is important is try our best to control. So the sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, I shared with you the last hadith on this matter. Anas bin Malik reported that they went with Prophet Muhammad sallallahu to visit Abu Saif, the husband of Ibrahim, wetness. And the Prophet took Ibrahim, cuddled him, kissed him. When they went back later to visit him, Ibrahim was breathing his last, and the Prophet eye welled up his tear with tears. Abdurrahman bin Auf asked, even you, O Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, say, even you, O Messenger of Allah? The Prophet replied, O son of Auf. Mean Abdurrahman is the son of Auf. Abdurrahman al-Auf is one of the companions who was a very rich man, but he's a very, very generous person. A well-known businessman among the companions, and he spent a lot, contribute a lot for Islam, alhamdulillah. So The Prophet replied, O son of Auf, verily it is mercy. His eye again were filled with tears, and he said, verily the eyes become full with tears, and the heart feels sorrow, but we only said that we've pleased our Lord. We control, not to the extent that we out of control, slap ourselves, knock ourselves in the wall, you know. We do it because when you can shed tears, also it's a ni'mah. It's not easy to cry sometimes. Crying also is a blessing. Those who cry out of happiness, also you cry sometimes. When you're too happy, you shed tears too. When you're too sad, indeed we are sorrowful at your parting, O Ibrahim. Ibrahim is also, if you look at the hadith, it's about the Prophet's last son who passed away. After Ibrahim passed away, the Quraysh become very happy. Abu Lahab said, oh, gone. Prophet Muhammad descendant is gone because no more men. When there's men, they will carry the name of the father. Only you have women like Fatima. Fatima's children is going to be bint. It could be Ali. Follow the father. There's one of the ayah, surah was revealed, Inna a'tayna kal kawsar. Fasalli rabbika wanhar inna shani akahu al abtar. And those who curse the Prophet and say the God of Muhammad have cursed him. To the extent now he don't have anyone to carry his name. He will easily be forgotten later on. No one will remember Muhammad. He's a troublemaker, the way they belittle our Prophet ﷺ. Then Allah revealed this surah in a way to come down on Prophet that Inna a'tayna kal kawsar. I've given you a lot of goodness. So what you have to do, fasalli rabbika wanhar. Don't forget to worship Allah in good time, in bad time, and prepare to sacrifice. It's a sacrifice. When somebody you love suddenly pass away, it's also a sacrifice. It's not easy. It's qadar of Allah. Inna shani akahul abtar. Don't worry. Those who don't like you, who curse you, who belittle you, who backbite you, and do anything bad, Allah will destroy them. But you see, it's so true. The Prophet don't have any children to carry his name, but every ummah of the Prophet remember him and love him so much, mashallah. Until today, we love our Prophet a lot, more than ourselves sometimes. So what we are trying to say here, the male can kiss the male because they are mahram. The female, they kiss the female. Those who are not mahram, they don't do that. Those who are mahram, even your friend, if you visit them, they have covered her face, you can uncover her face. And it's a sunnah for the family to allow that to happen. But just everybody who do that must control themselves. Not to extend you hold the disease and then cry. Then why you go back? Why this happened to you? You cannot allow that thing to happen. Some people are worried to kiss. They say they're worried the spirit will come to you. In Islam, you don't have that problem. We don't believe that the dead will come back to life until Allah allow it to happen. That more normally you don't have to worry. That's why they said when the people is alive, we are not afraid of them. When the people die, we fear them. We fear the death, the dead one more than the living one. Where the lion is alive, we run away from them. When lion is dead, we can go and cuddle them. But the opposite for a human. The important thing for all of those brothers is this is something that is allowed. So if anybody want to kiss their family members, their close friend, don't stop them. Just kiss something on the forehead between the two eyes. Now let us come back to this carrying the janazah. The bir is something, is the alat. Yeah? It's just like everyone who have a janazah, when they have that something to carry the body. Yeah? The most frequent practice in our time is to transport the janazah from the home to the graveyard in a closed coffin or casket. In some area, it is further required to bury the body in the casket. Yeah? The casket used by people who are not yet Muslim are unnecessary to us, expensive and wasteful. That's why the prophets and the companion and all of us until today make a very simple coffin, tin, plywood, that's all. Yeah? Where the other people, they have their own way to do it. They are made of bronze, steel, mahogany wood, pine wood, and so on. And their interior is made of crepe, velvet, and so on. The Muslim should not be using any such casket because of the clear imitation that this don't belong to us. This kind of practice belong to the other people. So the Prophet do not want us to follow them. We have our own value, they have their own value. Lakum dinukum waliya din. From the day we are born, we have our own value. Do akika, we halak, tahnik, we have our own value. We celebrate in our own way. Must we have a birthday cake? Something sweet. Tahnik is something sweet. In the time of the Prophet, he will just chew the dates, and from the dates, the sweetness of the date, he will put some into the gum of the baby and make dua. When people come with date to me, I use honey because the Prophet's saliva have extra blessing. Our saliva, we don't know. You know? We may carry some germs, some here, so sometimes we just want to make sure that we do what the Prophet wants us to do, but at the same time we don't deny the Prophet have extra blessing from Allah Rabbul Alameen. Something sweet, so we use that. Alhamdulillah. Then when you die, also we have our own way. That's why you look some of the features beside talking about the closed coffin and the open one. Ours is always the open one. Nothing to hide. Nothing to hide. The aura actually is to just cover, to make sure that people don't talk about the body of the deceased. The janazah should be carried by a number of strong Muslim men who have the ability to maintain a swift pace with the procession. And this is, if you know that in Medina, if anybody want to participate in carrying the body, they must be strong, because it moves very fast, and everybody want to touch and get some reward on that. It's not necessary unless you know that people need backup. Let those who are carrying move smoothly, and you can back up where you know that if it's far, why the Prophet like us to carry, so that we also feel. Today we have all the vans, because the journey is a bit far, so we need to make it easier. Only the Chinese, even until today, they prefer that the slow motion one, because they need a lot of people to move and follow, and they want people to cry, so that it's like a sign to show that the one who passed away is somebody so good that people miss them a lot. So if there's nobody who cry, they will hire a group of people just to cry. They have their own way of doing things. I remember when my father passed away, I was still young. My attachment, my father is not that close, father is always busy, so many children, We all have siblings of 11 of us. Yeah. So I cannot cry. I don't have feeling. So they have to pinch me and I cry. You know, the one who cried and fainted halfway is my elder sister. Yeah, who looked like my father too. You know, she cried and cried until she got fainted, and somebody got to carry her back home. Cannot proceed. Yeah. Islam do allow us to cry, but not to the extent. Yeah. And how we have our values. People who are not Muslim, they have their way. Yeah. Now we do not find in the Sunnah of our Prophet ﷺ, yeah, an additional reward for those who carry the janazah, yeah, following it. That means, yeah, except for the fact that the bearer would fulfill a needed communal obligation. That there is no need for the people to crowd around the bearers, each one trying to touch it for even a few seconds. That is what we normally do. Yeah. Furthermore, there is no basis for the common practice of the person bearing the janazah for 10 steps. This is another thing. Normally we have a tradition. Yeah. 1 step, then we have a prayer. Here sometime. Yeah. What is a prayer? Do you remember? Because the one who involved are the men normally. One you carry, before you move, Al-Fatiha. And then one more step, Al-Fatiha. And then one more step, Al-Fatiha. Then they move. Yeah, 3. Yeah. This is just some of the tradition that somebody must have introduced it at one point of time, and then nobody comment. So everybody, yeah, just follow. Yeah, just follow. Is there a sunnah? No. One after the prayer, nobody is going to pray anymore. Then we can start to carry. And while you carry, even according to Sunnah, the funeral prayer is the prayer. Meaning, after the funeral prayer, you just carry the body. There's nothing to make another dua. Yeah. But our tradition here, funeral prayer is funeral prayer. After that, another extra prayer you can do at the grave, not immediately after the funeral prayer, because the funeral prayer is the prayer. But ours, after that, we still make another prayer. And there's a time people is going to give some money. If you have a pocket, they put in a pocket, then don't put on their hand. If you don't have pocket, then when they put it on the hand, it don't look nice. That is the fastest prayer, answered by Allah. Before anything, before the end, you get some reward already. And that is not good. You corrupt the people's intention. From coming and offer a prayer sincerely for Allah, now they are corrupted. They're looking for money. Sometimes you have good intention to do donation, but you must not do it in a wrong place. Then you corrupt the good intention of every Muslim, because it's the right and responsibility of the Muslim to perform funeral prayer to another Muslim. How to carry the body? During the procession, the body is carried lengthwise or of both the shoulder. There's no provision in the Sunnah calling for having the deceased feet or head in the forward direction, even though the latter is the most common practice. I mean, which one is easier? But normally they put the head in front. Wudu for the carrier, the bearer. We cited again Abu Hurairah's hadith that the Prophet ﷺ said, "Man ghassala mayitan falyaghtasil, wa man hamila falyatawadda." Let whoever wash a dead person take a bath, and let those whoever carry him perform wudu. As explained in our earlier hadith and discussion of this hadith, this common command of Allah's Messenger should be taken as highly recommended. It is not wajib, but it is a sunnah mu'akkada. because of the Sahaba's understanding. Because there are some Sahaba who involved in washing the body and they do not take a bath. They just take a wudu and they will participate in the funeral prayer. Yeah. Virtue and rewards in following a janazah. Following the janazah is a greatly rewardable act of worship, provided that it is done with sincerity and without violation to the sunnah. Yeah, you can go back to chapter 1. Some of its reward and virtue are mentioned in what follows some of the hadiths. Udul marida wa tabi'ul janaza tuzakkirukumul akhirah. Visit the sick and follow the funeral that remind you of the hereafter. Always this kind of thing remind us. Yeah? When you visit the sick, also reminds you. Now he was with us, very healthy before. Now suddenly is bedridden. Remind us that it was very important for to use our health before we get sick. Yeah? It's very important to do what we can when we are alive before death come to us. Two great chunk, two great reward. The Abu Hurairah said again, Man shahida janaza min baytiha, who follow a Muslim janaza with iman and ihtisaban, from its house until the prayer is performed, for it get a chunk of reward. And he was also followed, and he who also follow it until the burial is completed, get 2 chunk of reward. There is the reward of qiratan, that is the size of Uhud. Uhud. How tall is Uhud? How high? Never mind. Can try to visit Uhud again. And how many kilometers? And how wide? It's huge. He was asked, what are these 2 chunk reward that Allah is going to give those who participate in the funeral prayer and to follow until the graveyard? And he replied, they are like 2 great mountains. In another report, Kullu qiratin mislul Uhud. Each chunk is like the mount of Uhud. Allahu Akbar. And in another report, he said, each chunk is greater than the mount of Uhud. Not like, but is greater than the mount of Uhud. Each chunk is heavier in his skill than the mount of Uhud. Allahu Akbar. Walillahi alhamd. This is something important for us to understand the reward. This is ghaibiyah, unseen, but we must have that belief. A Muslim who is anxious to acquire as much reward as possible would have a great concern to know. And this is also very important. May Allah Rabbul Alameen give us this understanding that when we have the opportunity to perform Salat al-Janazah, we don't miss it. And if you're given the opportunity to send the body until the graveyard, try to do it. You don't have to get close to the burial ground. You can stand somewhere a bit far. Then when coming to the end part, you may come closer, no problem. Family members also is highly recommended. One thing that we must remember, those who are going down in the liang lahat, the Prophet ﷺ loved the family members to participate. If the meal, only the meal. Normally they need at least 3, maximum 3, minimum 2. Slowly to carry the body from the top down to the graveyard. And the way you want to carry so that it did not hurt us again, we must know how to carry it nicely. And the Prophet also reminded, make sure that those who want to go down, they do not have any intimacy with your loved one that particular night, the day before the burial. If whoever realize they have some relationship, they should just get out from the place and get another body down. But normally it's easier to alert them before they go down. Normally when you are down, you are shy to let people know, oh, what happened to you? Yes, because death no one knows. He may recover, so we are so happy. We have a good feeling with our husband or wife. We have a good relationship. Suddenly, that recovery is a sign that he's going home to Allah Rabbul Alamin. Sometimes you hear that people, he's to be recovering. Tomorrow is gone. But sometimes that sign is not a bad sign, because when people are recovering, give us more opportunity to remind them about La ilaha illallah. That means they can recite La ilaha in a very conscious, easier way. I've seen this few times in my life. When the people is in coma, we went and we keep on calling their name, touching them, remind them. Then suddenly they open their eye and they respond. And they said, no, I was hearing the sound. It's like I was lost, and then I'm following the sound back. That's why don't give up. Don't give up. Whatever you can do, you do first. But hold them, because they need that kind of touch. To feel that it's like people is lost. You need to guide them, pull them back. Don't give up. But after that, we are so happy. He was so alert now. So everybody was so happy, and then talk to him. He respond very well. So we left, and then after an hour plus, we got another call that he went back into the second coma. So we went back, and this time is a heavier one. But Alhamdulillah, the last minute when we keep on calling him again, remind him about La ilaha illallah, he opened his eye and said La ilaha illallah. That's all. And he's gone. Allahu Akbar. And his family until today is with us. Until today. This a very blessed man. To me, I say he's a very blessed man. Now, Omar used to pray over a janazah and then leave. When he heard that of Abu Hurairah above hadith, he thought that he was exaggerating. He sent Khabab and to Aisha to inquire from her about the hadith. In the meantime, he took a handful of pebbles from the ground of the masjid and was turning them about in his hand, until his messenger came back saying, Abu Hurairah has spoken the truth. On hearing this, Ibn Umar hit the ground with the pebbles and said regretfully that I have missed the chunk of reward. Normally, sometimes when some companion did not hear the saying from the Prophet themselves, they may want to reconfirm. They have the right. That one, you have the right. When you are doubtful, you have the right to reconfirm. One thing that I like to remind all the good sisters who are seeking knowledge here, even we are exposed to a lot of hadith. If somebody is doing something else, or they are saying something, don't pass judgment yet. Don't say, oh, that's not right. I never come across. Yeah, you never come across, but maybe they come across with that kind of hadith. They came across with that dalil. You say, through my understanding, what I've learned, what I'm exposed to, is this. You are not passing judgment. Oh, I disagree with you. Don't use this term. Don't ever use it. I disagree with you. I don't think it's right. You just say, through my knowledge, this is what I've learned. But if what you are trying to, what you believe in it, is based on any hadith, alhamdulillah, you have the right to check. If not, then it's better to follow the hadith. That's how we approach. That means you are not judging them and making a statement. Because sometimes one issue, you have many hadiths. And maybe the hadith that they refer to is not an authentic hadith, but they are not aware that it's not authentic. But we are very particular to make sure that hadith must be authentic. Then we share with the student. But other people who are not bothered about authentic or not, they don't care. They'll say, yes, the hadith said. Who said that? The scholar said that. Oh, it's not a hadith, it's the scholar's statement. But they are not aware. And some scholars are very irresponsible. There's no hadith. But they say the jumhur. They want to reconfirm, re-strengthen their opinion. They say jumhur. You know what is jumhur? Jumhur majority. Which jumhur? They just use the word jumhur only. And that's why the people who have a lot of discussion, they say, which jumhur? Then they have no answer. Okay. I also have jumhur. If you say, I also have my own majority. So sometimes people are very irresponsible. When they want to strengthen the opinion, they ask, do you have any reference? Oh, jumhur. Alhamdulillah, you all now get involved in this kind of discussion. Sometimes we get involved. So we just want to make sure the jumhur is clear. Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu heard of this incident and commented, indeed, neither market dealing nor palm planting disgraced me from Allah's messenger. Disgraced me from Allah's messenger. I used to stay close to him, hoping for a word that he would teach me, and I'm been satisfied with it. A bite of food that he would feed me. Anything. Ibn Umar later compared to this by telling him, "Oh Abu Hurairah, among us you spend the most time with the Prophet ﷺ and are most knowledgeable of his hadith." People used to argue about people who don't accept hadith. Used to say that, how can Abu Hurairah, who stayed with the Prophet for so short period, memorize so many hadiths? That's why we don't believe in Abu Hurairah. The one who rejects Abu Hurairah is also the Shia. No. Shia only popularized what Fatima and Ja'far as-Siddiq. We said we have no problem. We also accept anything from Fatima and also from Ja'far. No problem. As long as there's hadith, we accept. But they want only from this. Come from Aisha? No. Came from Abu Hurairah? Who is this guy? But how can Abu Hurairah memorize a lot of hadith? It's a gift from Allah to him. Because the Prophet made a special prayer for him. The Prophet made special prayer for certain Sahaba. And Allah subhanahu answered the prayer of the Prophet, that he enriched Abu Hurairah, that Abu Hurairah memorized the saying of the Prophet very easily. And like what we said, it is a blessing when the companion have the opportunity to be close to the Prophet, to benefit anything they can. They don't waste their time. Today is just an example. If you are given the opportunity to be close to scholars, do you think it's a blessing? It's a blessing that you can get so many knowledge without you asking sometimes. Sometimes you learn from asking. Sometimes you learn by witnessing or looking at what they are doing and what they talk to others. Example today, you are with a scholar and somebody call in, ask for advice. You are talking, the scholar, he have to respond. Now you are there, you didn't even think about that topic at all. But now when they are talking, you are listening. And this is what you say. You seek knowledge through your hearing. And sometimes it's nothing to do with hearing. The way they talk, the way they interact. They drink with right hand. All these are knowledge. And when you want to do anything, their action is also knowledge. But we overlook, because we are not observant. We just want what we want to know. But sometimes their action, their discussion with other people, there's a lot of knowledge that we can benefit from. It's like counseling. Sometimes I allow some brothers or sisters to be around. I got to seek the permission first, of course. Do you think it's okay if somebody is with you, is the brother here, the sister is here with you? You say okay. Then they can sit on. So the counsel we will give, and then you just listen. MashaAllah, there's so many things that you learn. I gained a lot of this benefit when I was young. That's how I collect a lot of knowledge from my scholars, my teacher. I like to be with them. When I was a student, when I came back for holidays, I always move with them. Whatever knowledge I've learned, I will share a bit here and there, but then the rest I will be moving with my teacher. Carry his bag, carry his umbrella. Good. And when you are with a teacher, you don't talk a lot. Don't talk. Sometimes there are people who like to talk before the teachers talk. When people ask the teacher, he answers first. That is not good. You listen, be humble, just listen. There's so many things that Allah have enriched the elders that we don't have. It's like adab, like you are with your parent, the elders. Let the elders talk first. If the elder said, you have something to share, you can come in. That should be the adab. You will learn a lot, brother and sister. So this is how some of the companions learn, because they were always with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now, among the qualities leading to Jannah, Abu Hurairah reported that one day Prophet Muhammad asked, "Who is fasting today?" Who respond? Abu Bakr. I. He asked again, "Who among you has visited a sick person today?" Abu Bakr respond again, "I did." He asked again, "Who among you have witnesses a janazah today?" Abu Bakr respond, "I did." He asked again, "Who among you have fed a poor person today?" Abu Bakr, "I did." He then said, "Mashtama'at hazil qisal fi rajulin fi yawmil illa dakhal jannah." Never would this act be performed by one man in one day, but he will enter Jannah. What the Prophet is trying to share with us, there's a lot of good things that we can do every day to receive the reward from Allah, that please Allah. Are you fasting? Yes. Visit the sick? Yes. Feed the poor? Yes. Anything good, just try to engage in doing good deeds. And the strange thing, when the Prophet asked among the companions, Abu Bakr is the only person who responds. Meaning he is ahead of other companions in doing righteous deeds. And that's why the Prophet ﷺ, one day, there is an argument between Abu Bakr and Omar. Then Abu Bakr said something, not a bad intent, said something hurt Omar. And Omar said to Abu, and then he realized, he said to Omar, "Please forgive me." Omar said, "No." Omar is a very hard person. No. They are very close. But then, sometimes being human, we may just say something that we don't even think that it will going to hurt the other party. We become, when you are closer, more sensitive. By right, the closer you are, the more understanding you should be. Yeah? It's like husband and wife. The longer you live as a, ala lebih kurang no problem. No, lagi sensitive. No. After 20 years, you forget my birthday. Alamak. Yeah lah. After 20 years, you are so seasoned already. You don't remember. Yeah. You remember my phone number. My phone number, so you don't remember. Wow. Yeah, because today the smartphone, you enter there, you don't enter here anymore. No, it's not our fault. It's just sometimes because of the environment. Yeah. Then what happened to Omar? Yeah, Omar just excused himself. Then the Prophet came to know. When the Prophet came to know, he said he was going to scold Omar. He thought that he's going to scold Omar. Then immediately Abu Bakr, he kneeled down. Ya Rasulullah, it's not his fault, it's my fault. Don't say anything about Omar. He kneeled down, he begged, Ya Rasulullah, don't get angry with Omar. You know, when the Prophet gets angry with the companion, it's not good. The anger of Allah also will come. Neither Omar was aware that the Prophet is going to scold him. He thought that it's just the Prophet to say something. But Abu Bakr worried. Before he said anything to Omar, he quickly knelt down. It's my fault, Ya Rasulullah, not Omar. Don't say anything about. If you are angry, you scold me. It's me. But the Prophet's approach was different. He said, Abu Bakr is very close to me. Yeah. Nobody's deeds, nobody's iman can be greater than Abu Bakr. Whoever hurt him is like hurting me. I will stand as a witness to Abu Bakr. If anybody wants to say anything, I will stand a witness for Abu Bakr. He's not scolding Omar directly. He gave a general statement. Omar realized, then Omar also grabbed hold of Abu Bakr, and then they cry among them. The Sahaba are very different. If we are padan, good. Now you know. No. So based on this hadith, these are the things that we can do, to get a lot of reward from Allah Rabbul Alameen. And the Prophet just tells us that this man Abu Bakr, everything that the Prophet wants us to do, he is the first to act. He's not like when I have time. No. The opportunity come, he responds. The opportunity come, he will just act upon it. We were given a lot of opportunity to do good things sometimes, but we always excuse and delay. We are not hasten to do it. Yeah. But may Allah make it easy for us. Of course, doing good thing, brother and sister, again today, it's not like the time of the Prophet. Yeah. Time Prophet, when all these things happen, is genuine. Today, people lie, people cheat, people do a lot of things that is not right. So when you want to, now you want to feed people, people don't want. They want money. They come to you, I'm poor. You thought that they have no food. No. They're not here to eat anything. They want money only. Like people, when you are eating at the shop, they come in. We say, sit down. Order what you want. I will pay. No. I want money. Cash. If you go and check, they don't want also cash. On the spot one. And you look at them, it's like we just came back from Penang. We have a meeting on the Tahfiz school again. A lot of Tahfiz school is coming up like mushroom. People are worried. There's a lot of argument in the discussion. Then I was saying to the chairman, I said, I'm a bit confused when people say tahfiz is at mushroom, and you want to help them check the place, where they keep the student, their stuff. They don't have money. They don't have money, but they want to do, and they do it in the shop lots and anything. This shop lot is not for children. And then they want to help them, but they don't want to cooperate. They want to check their curriculum. They don't want you to control them. What they want, money. And on and off, you see now children is going out to beg for money. It's not healthy at all. But you say you cannot stop them. You're against these good activities. I say Islam is a very practical religion. If you don't have the means, you don't have to do that. The children, if they really want to make tahfiz, they go to the existing tahfiz school to get them in. Why must everybody start to have a tahfiz? And then going back here and back there? This is not right. Allah said, La yukallifallahu nafsan illa wus'aha. Allah will never burden you except what you can. Everybody want to have their own tahfiz. And if you don't support them, they will sabotage you. Oh, you're anti-Islam. I was alerting them, said, in some country, a lot of unrest, anti-government element started from there. They start a small madrasa and then they want to ask for money. When the government said, you are not qualified, they'll go back. These are the leader of the student. This government is anti-Islam. This government don't like Islam. They never support any Islamic. Astaghfirullah. Now they create hatred to the student when they are not doing their thing correctly. You develop a group of students, grow up hating those who have authority. Is very wrong. That's why you have to control, to make sure that, if you really have the mean, carry on. Now there's problem everywhere. It's like mushroom. Everybody tahfiz, and asking for money. To me, I said, if you say I'm very sentimental, yes. Well, I'm against sometimes. I don't know why. Why must you all start to have so many tahfiz going? When there's so many tahfiz go around you, and they have a good place, and then send them there. But you want to do your own. For what reason? Even you do, no problem. If you can handle it, do it by yourself, no problem. Get people who understand your spirit, help you, no problem. But don't go and burden others. And then send the children going back here. What is this? You don't see in the not yet Muslim do this kind of thing. Just an example. Doing good thing today is not like before. People are using all this platform to commercialize things for money today. May Allah protect us from all this wrong intention under the banner of Islam. Be very careful. I think that's all I'd like to share with you today about qualities leading to Jannah. So anytime when you have a good opportunity, but now today we have to be more careful, and doing things collectively is always highly recommended, because it's easy to follow up and it's easy to help each other, inshallah. If not, now people go here, everybody is involved, and we do not know that. No, they are getting from here, they're getting from there, we do not know. If there's any question and answer, now we open for the Q&A. Fatafaddal. Naam. Any question from the Jama'ah? Faddal. Faddal. Pardon? What is the meaning of tahfiz? Yeah, tahfiz means it's a place that people want to train the children to memorize the Quran. Yeah. That is what tahfiz is. To memorize the Quran. We hope most of that strong tahfiz center that's very stable will do more than that, because a lot of people memorize the Quran but they don't understand. We don't expose the children to the understanding of the Quran. I've seen tahfiz people sometimes after that they don't even pray. They just memorize, train their brain to memorize. I have seen people who memorize Quran and then they drink. When they have the opportunity to be exposed to all these things, they are gone. They become very wild. That's why we don't value a person just because he's from a tahfiz school. No. If you act according to the knowledge you learn, then alhamdulillah, you become good. But just, I'm a tahfiz hafiz. When you see them sometimes, astaghfirullah al-azim. No. Naam. Any other question? Question from the brothers? Again, Faddal. Yeah, when it's too far, yeah, then yes, when you are carrying the body, you covered. Yeah. Yeah. Because it's very close. It's okay. When it's close, it's okay. Sometimes people do that to show the humbleness. There's nothing. Because people may want to see the king for the last time. You know? So if you cover, people want to take it, so you can just slowly, and then people can see him. Because we, our Muslim, we don't put in a casket and so on. So open and they see this is, yeah, a king is a king, but yeah, yes, yes. For those who are killed in the war, in the battlefield, then you just bury them with their own uniform, with the garment that they use. Yeah, we know that. Yeah, sometimes. Now the height of Uhud I've shared with you. The length, yeah, how far, how long, that is about 7 kilometers. Yeah, and then the waist is about 3 kilometers wide. 3 kilometers wide, and then the length is about 7 kilometers. Naam, sis Liza, please. Wait. Use that. Okay.
Sorry, just a question about pictures. Ustaz,
Okay.
Kan nowadays kan ada banyak macam malapetaka, kan? And then people drown lah, you know, people get killed and all that. And there's a lot of pictures that is being posted WhatsApp ke apa-apa.
Yeah.
I think the intention is that ialah kita nak bagi kita rasa kesian ke, nak buat contribution ke
Okay.
kan. But what is the proper way, ya Ustaz? Sebab sometimes the bodies, some naked, some you know, is I just wondering lah apa yang cara terbaik kalau kita nak, you know, apa?
Participate,
nak attract,
yeah.
bukan nak attract supaya orang rasa apa kesian lah dalam all this situation kan. Gitu.
Yeah. Yeah, today's situation, because as Muslim, yeah, we should not do this to others. Even at war, we should not do this. We should honor the creation of Allah Rabbul Alameen. That's why we are not supposed to cause any injury on the face, especially, you know. Now, you only fight against people who fight with you. You don't, Islamic justice, no public war, no. You only get engaged in a war when there is an attack. So you have to defend yourself. But you don't even hunt for people that probably on the civilian who do not get children, women, unless you arm the children. Your enemy arm the children with weapons, and the children is coming after you. Then you have no choice. But those who are at home, who are not fighting against you, you cannot attack them Islamically. But today what is happening, because of technology, the media, they have all this camera that they can just snatch it and send it to us. Yeah? But the important thing, we know what is happening. When you come to government, then the government should involve. ASEAN have their own example. ASEAN is a GNG. Anything happen, the so-called good government, who love peace in this region, everybody should put pressure already on that particular country. You are not supposed to do this. What is this? It's inhuman. And if every ASEAN government who love peace prepare a group of army, say 100, it's like a United Nation, I think you can help to stop that very easily, because everybody is getting involved. But if everybody is silent, show that when anything happens to Muslim people, don't care. When it happens to other people, immediately the media and every country is talking about it. So what can we do now? As a Muslim, we hope the Muslim country will do something. That's all. As an individual, I don't think we can do a lot. Now again, when this thing happened, you have so many groups claiming I'm collection. This is another thing that I don't respond to it sometimes. When I was in Jeddah for Hajj, they called me to give a khutbah. They came and picked me up from Mecca. I went to Jeddah and gave a khutbah for the foreigners. Majority of the foreigners, the khutbah will be in English. I went down. I talked about this topic too, because everybody was informing me that most of the imam today are talking about that. It's part of a duty to alert everybody and to alert the world. What is happening? Where is our so-called human right, humanitarian kind of group? Why? So again, they asked me after that, how can we contribute? I said every country, they should have some representative that is known to all of you, that is being recognized by the authority. Example, that is better. From our part also we have, but sometimes when everybody start to do things, astaghfirullah, you don't know where the money is going. People will take a right of another group, and this is one thing that I don't support sometimes. Not because we are not involved, but the way we are doing it, I show you there was a time that I was very close, and then later I cut off my involvement because country like our neighbor country Indonesia, there's a lot of good activities going on, dawah done by us. We support them. We train doa among the reverts in Indonesia. We have been in Indonesia from the 70s. Try to do what we can to help the reverts, especially. We are focusing on more reverts. There are a lot of da'wah activities, but also we don't deny the other group also do a lot of da'wah. But then you have suddenly a foreign group and said that, there's a lot of people become Christian now, and then if you don't help, we need 2 million US to save one family. Just one family. That made me very upset. When I travel abroad, people ask me, do you know what happened? I say, what? And then they highlight. So I say, who said that? We have been going there. We know what is happening on the ground. And these people just go and get some information here and there. You are not promoting Islam at all. You are promoting for other people. And people respond because people are very, we are all Muslims are very kind people. And then what happened? We don't know. This is thing that sometimes we must be wise. Don't just jump into conclusion. Respond without checking people who we know, we understand. There's a lot of things that we are doing, we don't even tell people. Saudi have done so much for the Myanmar. He have done so much. If you go to Saudi, any houses, there is, the kind of house that with all the red brick house. Majority are from Myanmar. They are free to build as long as the government don't have any project, on the mountain, rock mountain, the hill, you can build. But when they have a project, then they'll place you to another area. People do not know a lot of things that the Muslims are doing because neither we want to show to other people, neither the media is going to promote us. It's like what happened when the Syrian, they have provide shelter for millions of refugees, but they don't build tent for them. They build flat house, concrete house for them. But who knows this? People will condemn. It's easy for you to pass judgment. People want to create the hatred among Muslims, that Muslims not doing anything. Muslims doing a lot of things. But the way we do normally, we don't like what the right hand gives, left hand knows not. It's our duty. But I'm just sharing with what Sister Lisa said. Sometimes we know. We feel very sad, but what happened is good that they highlight through the media. It's not just what we say. Now we just want to know what the world is doing when you see this kind of thing happening to the innocent people. They don't take up arms to fight against you. It's not like Palestine. They do have the right to fight back. This one, they are so weak, naive. And you just, hunt them down like animals, like dogs. Astaghfirullah. May Allah protect the Ummah, inshallah. I believe that the Muslim can champion human rights because we honor human rights. Last question from the brothers. Nothing. Last question from the sisters. Nothing. Don't forget to pray. The least that we can do, we pray. May Allah open the heart of the Muslim leader wherever they are and make them respond positively, that can benefit not only the ummah, benefit everybody. Yeah. When the right is being given to everybody, there will be a lot of peace. You know, when my right is being honored, your right is being honored, why must we cause problem? There's no reason. But when right is not given, then of course there will be some problem. When injustice is there, problem is always there. Yeah? May Allah guide us, may Allah forgive us, and may Allah Rabbul Alameen make us practice the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ that we are exposed to, and don't make us judgmental to others. Amin ya Rabbil Alamin, wa bil tawfiqi wa aqli da'wana walhamdulillah bil alamin. And inshallah, I think if we are moving next Wednesday, 11 is our class there, then 10 we should be here. We move from here together, inshallah. Yeah, next Wednesday. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.